How is it going, boys and girls? Welcome back to QS Waterman. My name is Aaron Young. It is a beautiful Sunday afternoon here in the Florida Keys. Had a pretty busy morning. Madeline had a bit busy morning. She's on the couch resting. Quite honestly, I wasn't going to go on the boat today, but it is just way too nice not to. Look at this. It's just unbelievable. One of those days you hope and pray for. So I could not help myself. Got the Ginu in the water. And I'm gonna head out and maybe just do a quick strike mission, see if we can find a couple fish to eat, that's all. I was just sitting on the balcony looking out of the water and I could not help myself. So here we are. Gonna head out, maybe check a new mangrove island that we've never dove before and see what we come across. I figured I'd bring you along. Does not get much better. We're at a new spot. If you know me or know the channel, you know I love exploring, checking new areas. I've never dove this one before, so we're gonna give it a look. To be honest, I don't need much, just a couple snapper will do. I'm not trying to sink the boat, just wanted to get out and enjoy the nice weather and hopefully find a couple of fish to eat. The water looks decent, a little bit of tide moving, so I have to be careful, kind of playing out my swim here. But it looks pretty good. Once I hop in, I can see how sometimes it can be deceiving up here what the visibility actually is, but once I hop in, I'll figure out which gun I need. I brought the Grover and the 90 euro. But long story short, let's go check it out. Welcome back underwater, everybody. As always, thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate your time. We'll talk a little bit about this day. Some of these clips I'm just going to let run raw. It was a very peaceful day for me. I know a lot of you guys just like swimming around the mangroves with me, so I'll leave a bunch of the clips raw, and for those of you who just want the action, I will have chapters so you can skip around and see where I shot fish. But I ended up going with the 90, the Euro 90. It was just clear enough that I don't really like the Grover. I like to use the Grover inside anything around 6 or 7 feet or so of visibility. This day I could see easily 10 to 12 feet, so I ended up going with the Euro. And just a side note for whoever may be interested in stopping by or maybe picking up a spear gun, we're going to do some show specials at discounted price. The Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show, the end of October. I will be there for Friday and Saturday only. If you want to stop by the Koa Spearfishing booth. I know last year some of you guys tried to stop by and you had trouble finding us because the show's so big. It takes place throughout a few buildings, but if you follow me on Instagram, I will post the actual physical location on a map so you know where to find us. But that'll be the end of October, Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show, Koa Spearfishing booth. I will be there for Friday and Saturday. at this point, I had been swimming around for at least about 45 minutes, and there really wasn't much going on. You can see there's a big fallen tree right here that has fallen a long time ago. It's got a lot of growth on it. A lot of times if I see something like that, submerged structure, it'll hold a lot of fish. This was about the first time I saw any decent amount of mangroves. You can see them kind of swirling around. Just didn't see any of size, but the beginning of this swim started very, very slow. It was probably at least an hour, hour and a half before I even saw anything. This was pretty wild. I don't think I've ever seen this. I must have just barely missed this mangrove eating something. Big mangrove, and I'm almost about to line up on it, and I realize it had just bitten the tail off of a grunt, and it's sitting there trying to eat it. And something just struck me, and I, for whatever reason, wanted to let nature take its course. I know I'm a predator as well, but I didn't have it in me to shoot that fish while I was sitting there hunting. But if you see on the surface, there's a grunt there just flopping around. Pretty wild. I came around this corner, and this was hour and a half in. This is the first area where I really saw a decent amount of fish. And they were coming up to me, kind of coming in and out, checking me out. And as I always talk about, if I have a bunch of mangrove rush me like that, a lot of times I'm just going to park it, let them create commotion, and see if that action will bring anything else in. So I parked it for a little while, and you'll see here, right there, nice one comes in. And now I'm focusing on that fish. Just didn't want to swing too much because I didn't want to spook it, but it comes back around and turns and gives me that shot, broadside, and I took it and I hit my mark. Luckily got a stone shot there. As always, brain and bleed. And I normally will gut the fish on location wherever I shoot it, or at least in the area. All those entrails will not go to waste. The local fish will definitely eat them. This was a pretty neat clip. I came around this corner, and I know the camera adjusts, but the water is actually pretty green here. This went a little heavy. The camera sensor adjusted. It went a little heavy, but it looked kind of cool because you can see all the silhouettes of all the fish swimming around. And there were a ton of mangroves. This is one of the reasons I hunt mangrove, is they are a very healthy population. There are a ton of them, very sustainable, and they're delicious. They're one of my favorite snapper to eat. You can see here there are a ton of them. Very curious as to what I'm doing. Just kind of sitting there and waiting. This one was definitely a shooter, but it was a little too squirmy. I couldn't get a comfortable shot on it. There's another one come in, but just cool to see this many coming in and out, checking you, thumping the water. And this is an example of action brings action that I always talk about. You'll see a Goliath there just spooked, made a big dust cloud, went down to check it out. Just one Goliath zipping around, kind of a smaller one. But in past videos, I talk about action brings action. If nothing's going on and you shoot a fish, a lot of times more fish will come around. Or if you go and thrash on the bottom, well, that grouper made a bit of a ruckus there, threw up all that sand and whatnot, and I swam down just a little bit, turned back and came around, and there was a much bigger Goliath grouper sitting there waiting because it heard the commotion. A lot of times that'll mean food or an opportunity to eat for fish. So if there's any type of commotion or action, a lot of times it'll bring other stuff to come in. About 30 minutes later, I had a lot of opportunities, but the fish were being super squirmy this day, and the water was clear enough that they were staying out. But the second half of this swim, I saw so many more fish than the first. It was weird. It was like nothing, and then there were mangroves everywhere. And came up on this corner. There's all kinds of fish all over. Nice one comes in and turns. I kind of did a hip fire there, and luckily got another good stone shot. I felt pretty pumped about that. 2 shots. Both stone shots. That one I got a little lucky on. I didn't really line up. Fish was a little further out, and I just kind of did a hip fire type of deal, and luckily it hit its mark. Well, that was a treat. Total swim was right about, look at the thing, I'll tell you. I try to keep YouTube land real. I know I always say it, but yeah, about 2.5 hours of swim. And ended up with 2 very nice mangroves. 14, 15 inch, perfect eaters. Love it. It was weird though, like the first hour, maybe hour and a half, I really didn't see much at all. There was not a lot going on. I saw maybe a couple shooter fish, and I almost was thinking like, maybe I ought to move. And I kept working. This area is pretty big, so it took me a while, but I just kept working. And then in the second half, I don't know if the tide switched or the fish were just where I was or whatever it was. The second half, there were fish all over the place. And I was being kind of picky. I had more than a few opportunities, but I let 2 shots go and got 2 stone shots, so I will call that a win. Such a cool little area. A little bit of tide moving through, so it was a good workout as well, which I don't mind. I could always use a workout. There you have it. I love finding new spots. But honestly, that's probably all I need. Just the 2 will do. Just wanted to get out and enjoy the day. I'm sure the mangrove videos get a little repetitive and whatnot, but I'm just kind of filming my life as it happens. If you like it, watch it. If you don't, feel free to watch something else. I just love it out here. There's nothing like it. This is the life I dreamed of, living in and on the ocean and harvesting my own food, and this is what I'm doing, so I'm just filming it as it happens. But I'm pretty confident that as long as we live in Key West, I'll probably do at least one mangrove video a month or every month and a half or so. I just love coming out here. It's always so peaceful, so quiet. But like I said, that's all I need. I'm done out here. The sun is making its way down. I'm gonna get back to the house. Let's get on out of here. Pearl!
Pearl, look, it's Dad. Pearl. Go get him.
He's like, I'm not talking to him. He left.
He was terrified. Babe,
What? What happened?
nothing happened. Well, actually, you tell me about your day.
What happened?
Yeah, I'll show you.
Tuna came? Wow. Oh, you opened it.
Look how pretty.
Beautiful. Love it. Madeline got her new paddleboard in, and it is rocking. You happy?
Yeah.
Happy.
I haven't had my own personal board in almost like 2 years, 3 years. 2 years.
What do you mean? Oh, because that one that popped?
My other one, my OG personal board popped.
R.I.P. What can you do? And we're in the kitchen, kinda. So change of plans. I was gonna do the mangrove snapper. Obviously, you just saw me spear those. But unexpectedly, a good friend of mine, Kobe, stopped by and brought me and Madeline some goodies here. He was just up on the mainland and whacked the blue crab, so he dropped some off. He was nice enough to even clean them up, break them down, so I just got to pull the meat out. And I don't get this amount of blue crab very often, so we're going to try to make something delicious with it instead of just picking and eating them. I also have some lobster head stock from a couple episodes back. It was in the freezer. So we're going to try to throw together maybe like a seafood gumbo type of deal.
Yeah.
I have so much blue crab. So there's going to be a ridiculous amount of meat that comes out of these. So I'll probably have too much, honestly, so I'll be able to eat some regular. But I don't know. The wheels got turning when he dropped these off. So that's what we're going to do. Right now I'm going to sit down. This is going to take me a while. It's quite a bit. So I'm going to sit down, break all these down, and pull all the meat out. And then we'll get started on the recipe. I'm done picking crab. That was quite the process. But I've got probably... I know it's hard to tell. This is a big bowl. Probably 2.5 pounds of crab meat. I'm going to make, like I said, this is not a traditional gumbo. I've only tried to make gumbo once in my entire life, and the roux broke. The flavor was great, but it wasn't what it was supposed to look like, but it tasted good. So I'm not going to pretend like I know how to make gumbo. So I'm going to make what I would consider a gumbo hybrid. We'll call it a seafood gumbo type of thing. I'm going to tell you everything that I've got. I've got crab meat. I've got some Cajun sausage. I've got okra, green bell pepper, some onion, various seasonings that I'll talk about as we're going. I'm going to kind of cook with my heart here. I am in the process of finishing up my roux. If you don't know what a roux is, I just learned what it is a couple months ago. It's a very tedious process. Essentially, it's fat and flour, but it takes you a while to make it. Look that up in a separate video. And I have lobster stock. Typically, gumbo, I think they use chicken stock, but again, this is going to be a hybrid. That's enough talking. Let's dive in. I'm going to get started. I'll walk you through everything I'm going to do. All right, so this is going to be kind of all over the place. I'm cooking with my heart here. So this is our sausage. I do want to brown it beforehand. This cast iron at a really high heat. I just want to crisp up the edges. And that is all for the sausage. Just a quick sear. Now back to our roux. Again, if you want to learn more about this, I'm just learning the roux thing. I'm very new to gumbo. This is literally my second time making something even close to it. But apparently the roux is a big deal from what I'm told. So that's about where I want it. I think it'll darken up a little bit. Essentially you start with fat, butter, or oil and flour, and you just sit here and stir constantly, otherwise it'll burn. But they say a dark roux is best for gumbo. It adds a lot of flavor, but I figure as I saute these, it should darken up a bit. So we're gonna do one whole onion. Let those cook down just a little bit. Gonna add green pepper. Went a little heavy on the green pepper. I probably should have only done 2. I had 3, so I threw 3 in there. It needed to be used. And I'm gonna add some okra. So it appears I didn't make, I don't know the rules here. I didn't make enough of the roux. I went a little veg heavy, which I don't know if it's a big deal. The flavor's still there, it's caking on the vegetables. I did a stick of butter and a half a cup of flour for the roux. I honestly didn't think I was gonna have this much veggie, but goodness, I almost forgot the celery. All right, so for seasonings, obviously, we're gonna do salt and pepper. For a little heat, this is actually some homemade stuff Madeline got. I think it's a Thai chili, but you can use cayenne. Heat to your desire. I'm gonna do maybe a teaspoon. This stuff is pretty spicy, so I don't want to go too crazy with it. And because this is a hybrid, we're gonna do some crab meat in there. I'm gonna throw some Old Bay, probably a tablespoon or so. A little bit of Worcestershire, a heaping tablespoon of gumbo filet. And we'll do maybe a teaspoon, half a tablespoon of marjoram. I think I'm saying that right. Marjoram. Already smells good. So now I'm going to add my lobster stock. I've looked at a few other gumbo recipes. A lot of people add the sausage now and then simmer. The first time I tried gumbo a little while back, when I added the sausage early, it was extremely overcooked after I simmered it for 30 minutes. So I'm gonna wait. Maybe I had the heat too high or something. I'm gonna add the sausage and the crab afterwards. Just gonna ballpark this here. Better look at that. It looks fairly thick. I'm gonna do one more because I am gonna add the sausage and the crab, so there'll be a little more substance in there. So I'm gonna turn that on high, bring that up to a boil and then down to a simmer. Maybe we'll keep it on at maybe 20-30 minutes, let everybody get nice and friendly in there, and then we'll add the rest of our goodies. So question for anyone who makes gumbo or anything with a roux, mine always breaks, and by always I mean this is the second time I've done it and it broke again. You can see the fat kind of there on the surface. I don't know if there's a trick there. It was still delicious. It mixes back in if you stir it in, but this is what mine did last time. This is actually not as bad as the last one. The last one it broke really bad, but that looks pretty darn good. So I simmered that, I don't know, 30-40 minutes and took it off heat and just kind of let it chill in the pot. So before we get too far and I dump 2.5 pounds of crab in here, I want to make sure it tastes okay. That is really good. I don't even know how, it's kind of confusing because it has like gumbo characteristics, but you can taste the lobster. So what we're going to do, bring a little more heat back to it. It's still pretty darn hot. You can see it smoking, but we're just going to add our sausage in. So got some Cajun andouille sausage. We're going to add this a little at a time. See what it looks like. The amount of crab meat. Look at all that crab meat. I'm excited for you to try this. It's almost a little confusing. Because it has like gumbo. No, not yet. I need authentic tries later. It almost has like gumbo feels, but you can also taste the lobster stock.
So hold on, where's the okra? Oh, I see.
There's okra in there.
Is it a lot of okra?
Taste it.
I'm not gonna taste it. I'm just.
I know what you do when you have a spoon in your hand.
I'm just looking.
Back up.
I'm just inspecting the amount of okra because otherwise I don't want any.
There's okras. Okay, you're gonna have okras. All right, so the rice is almost done. I'm gonna bring this back up to heat just a little bit, just so everyone gets nice and friendly in here. The sausage and the crab get to know each other. The okra and the celery and the peppers are already friends. I just want everyone to bond. Maybe another 10-15 minutes, and then the rice is done, and we're gonna give this stuff a try. Bum bum bum. All right, I need you over here, lady.
Lady.
You ready for this?
Wow. Tuna's ready. Come on, Tuna.
Here we are. I don't know what I call it.
Seafood gumbo.
What I call it. No, when you taste it, it's not gumbo. It doesn't have the gumbo, like the rich gumbo-y. But I want to see what you think about it. Hold on, I gotta take a picture for the recipes tab on the website.
Wow, babe. That still was the smartest thing you've done.
Thanks.
No, hold on, what?
Of all the things I've done, that was the smartest?
It was, okay, babe, one of the smartest.
I can't figure it out.
I feel like it tastes like gumbo.
Seriously? It does not taste like gumbo to me. Because it's not, really. It's lobster stock. So gumbo is normally made with chicken stock, from my understanding. Obviously, I put a lot of butter in it, but it's like really buttery. Can you taste the Old Bay?
Yeah, I can taste the butter.
It's like buttery. It's almost like It's almost like a bisque.
No.
Like flavor-wise, the buttery creaminess is like a bisque.
No.
Okay, never mind. I lied.
Oh my god, I'm envisioning the restaurant that I've had this in. Like had what you're describing. The buttery sauce.
It's a little mild compared to how a gumbo normally is. Normally a gumbo is pretty bold. I haven't had the heat come through yet. I may add a little more heat to it, but it's pretty good.
Pretty dang good.
It's just not. But can you tell the difference from when I did the last gumbo to this one with lobster stock? Because lobster stock's actually pretty mild. It's a pretty light flavor.
It actually tastes like gumbo though. Like it's like thick and has the gumbo flavor to it. The last one felt like more like a beef stew.
Yeah, I think it's really good. It's just a little more mild than your typical gumbo would be, but it's not really gumbo.
I think it tastes pretty dang good.
I think it's great. It's awesome. It's not traditional, but it's pretty darn good. And the blue crab is so sweet.
Yeah.
It's like really light. It's like good flavors, but light flavors.
You got a little bit of a kick.
Is that coming through at the end?
At the very end.
Good.
What did you put? Old Bay, you said?
I put Old Bay, and then I put some of the Thai chili powder. Because you don't want if the first bite is spicy, it's going to be too spicy. You want the heat to slowly come on.
That is so true. Yeah, I feel like anytime it's the first bite, you're like, oh god.
If the first bite rocks your world, you're not going to enjoy the meal. It's like the fifth and sixth bite should start to warm up. And that's when, in my opinion, is when a dish is properly spiced.
Well, this is about my fifth or sixth bite, so good job, babe.
That is all we have on this one. We started with mangrove snapper and we ended with crab and sausage seafood gumbo.
I was actually just about to say that. I'm like, I know we were supposed to eat fish, but I'm not complaining about this.
I mean, when someone drops off 3 dozen crab at your door, you're going to eat crab.
Yes. Thank you.
Kobe's the MVP on this one. New episodes every Monday, 6 p.m. It's going to be a different time wherever you are in the world, but it is the same time, same day, every week. First hour of the video coming out, I do my best. I answer all questions in the first hour. Anything else that trickles in, I do my best to answer it, but there's just a lot of them that come through nowadays. I'm very grateful that many of you guys watch the videos, but it gets a little overwhelming and it's hard to keep up with sometimes, but I do my best.
We do.
But yeah, that's it. We will see you on the next one. Later.